Hello guys, my name is Ajay Thapa from Kalchini Government ITI. My roll number is 3 and today in this video I'll be explaining how I made this tribute page to Eminem, a project work which was given by our trade teacher Miss Pooja Nandi. I'll explain the codes in a very simple language so it will be easy for you guys to understand and easy for you to create web pages like this. So let's move straight to the codes. First we have the tag HTML. This is the root tag of the page. Everything we write for the web page goes inside this tag. Think of it like a container that holds the whole page. Then we have the head tag. This part contains invisible information about the page like title, font, styles and other settings. It's important because it sets up how the page will behave and look even if it's not directly visible on the screen. Then you see the title tag. This tag sets the name of the browser tab. So when you open up the page, the top tab says Tribute to Eminem and it is placed inside the head section. And next we have the style tag. This is where I wrote my CSS, the codes that styles the page. Now there are three ways to insert CSS into your HTML. The first is using an internal style sheet. Second we have external style sheet and third we have inline style. So I'm using the internal CSS because it is in the style tag. And in the style tag you can see body, header, header h1, header h2, section, section p. These all are called selectors. All these selectors has a property and a value. Let's take an example of body. Inside the body you can see font family, which is a property, and the font Poppins and sans serif, it is a value. So the font family changes the style across the whole page. If Poppins font is available, it will be used. If not, a similar sans serif font will be shown. Then we have background color, which is a hex code. This sets the page background to light gray. Then we have margin. This removes the space outside the page around the edges. Padding, which I've also set to 0. This removes the space inside the page content area from edges inward. Think of margin as outside space and padding as inside space. Moving to the header, which styles the top header section of the page. I've given a black background color for the header and the color white is which makes the header text white. Then we have padding, which is 20 pixel, which adds space inside the header so the text isn't touching the edges. Then we have text align, which is center, which centers all the text in the header. Let's move to the header h1 and h2. These styles apply only to the heading elements inside the header. I have set the margin to 0, which removes space around the h1 title so it doesn't push other elements away. The font size is 2.5 em, which makes the text 2.5 times larger than the normal text size. And in h2, margin top is 5 pixel. This adds a small space above it. The font size is 1.5 pm, which is slightly smaller size for the subtitle under the main heading. Then we have section, which defines the section of documents such as chapters, headers or any other section. Here it styles the entire main content area where the biography is written. I have set the padding to 20 pixels, which adds space inside the sections, keeping the text away from the edges. The line height is 1.6, which increases the space between the lines of text, making the paragraphs easier to read. After that we have section P, where the P tags define paragraph. I have set the margin bottom to 15 pixel. This adds space below each paragraph. Without this, the paragraph would stick together and look cramped. And then comes the image, which will style the image of Eminem in my web page. I have given width to 100%, which will make the image stretch across the full width of the page. Given height auto, which keeps the image height flexible and in the correct proportion. I've given display block, which changes the image from an inline element to a block element so it behaves like a box. I've given margin 0 auto, which will center the image horizontally on the page. And then comes the footer. Footer defines a footer section for a document. It typically contains infos like copyright notices or navigation links, and it is often placed at the bottom of the web page. Here it will style the footer at the bottom of my web page. I have set the background color to dark with white text colored and the text is centered. I have used padding inside for spacing, margin on top to push the footer down a bit from the main content. Then comes footer P, which removes the extra space inside the paragraph in the footer. Now comes anchor. Anchor tag is used to create hyperlinks that allows user to navigate to other web page or sections within the same page. Here it will style all the links like next page button, and you can see I've used color white to make the link text white, and I've set a dark gray background color, and I've used padding which will add a space inside the button, and I've used border radius 5 pixel and text decoration to none, which will round the corners of the button and remove underline from the link text. Next we have anchor hover, which changes the button's background color when you hover a mouse over it. It gives users feedback that the link is clickable, making it more interactive. And at last, inside the style tag, I've used section h2, which will style this section heading like about Eminem, which is in my web page. I've given the font size to 2em, which will make it big. I've given a bold font weight and used a dark gray color for the text. Now comes the body, which is the visible part of the page. Everything the user sees is inside the body tag. This includes the header, image, biography, footer, etc. Let's talk about the header. This is the top section of the page. I use it to display the main title and subtitle. Inside the header, I used h1 tag. This is the main heading. I used it to write tribute to Eminem aka Marshall Bruce Mathers 3. The h1 tag shows large bold text. But h2, this is the subheading, a little smaller than h1. I used it to write the rap god. Then we have div tag. A div is like a box that holds and organizes the content. I use this tag to center the image on the page. Inside the div, I have placed the image of Eminem. Inside the div tag, I have also used the tag image src. This tag displays an image. I used it to add a picture. The src attribute tells the browser where to find the image. Example, the source of the image in my web page is localdisk C user your folder rjfif, which is the name of my image. Let's talk about the next tag, which is section. I used this tag to group a large part of content like Eminem's biography and early life. It helps organize the page and makes the HTML easier to read. Inside the section tag, I added headings and paragraphs. Inside this section, I used the P tag, which stands for paragraph. I used it many times to write the biography and story of Eminem, including his childhood, struggles, and career. Each paragraph is inside its own P tag, so it's clean and readable. Later, I used another H1 tag for a big section title like Early Life of Eminem. This is a good way to highlight a new major topic on the page. I've also used BR tag. This tag creates a line break. It's like pressing enter on the keyboard to go to a new line. I used it inside a paragraph where I wanted to manually start a new line without making a new paragraph. And then I've used the B tag, which stands for bold. It makes the text bold. And right after that, I've used the tag ahref. This is a link tag. I used it to create a next page button. The href attributes tells the browser where to go when the link is clicked. And at last, I've used the footer tag. This is the bottom part of the page. I use it to display the copyright information. Inside the footer, I've used the paragraph tag. This is just a regular paragraph placed inside the footer. It gives the credit to the creator of the page. Let's quickly summarize the tags I used. First is HTML, head, title, style, body, header, h1 and h2, div, image, section, paragraph, break, anchor, bold, and footer. Now I'm going to show you the rest of my pages. So my second page is all about Eminem's major award and achievements. Here I've made a table which tells you about the awards that Eminem got in his career. My third page is about key achievements and contributions of Eminem in the society. Last page of my project is about Eminem's album discography. Here you can check out Eminem's album which he has released, which includes old albums. Here you can get some infos like the genre of the album, the label, the release date, notable tracks, and the track list of the album. That was the full explanation of HTML tags I used to build my Eminem tribute page. I hope this helped you understand how each part of the page works and how simple HTML really is when you break it down. If you really like this explanation, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more web development content. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is Ajay Thapa from Kalchini Government ITI.